Hey, everybody, welcome to Black Link Magazine. I'm your girl, Invalid Sunshine. I'm so excited to be here, and I'm so excited for this interview today. Rothstein Beatz is in the house, and so I just want you to go ahead and introduce yourself. First, I wanted to tell you welcome to Black Link Magazine, and thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you for having me. I do apologize about, the miscommunication, but we're here. It's perfect timing now. You know what I mean?
Perfect
So,
timing.
yes, yes. Well, my name's Rothstein Beatz. I'm a music producer from Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm currently in Virginia right now, working with some artists that I have on my label, which is called Casino Gang Records. I specialize in hip hop and R&B. I've been producing professionally for about 14 years, going on 15 years now. So have been, working with people on and off, a lot of independent people all over America, all over the globe. I work with some international artists. So
Wow.
I've just been producing. So now that has kind of turned into me becoming on Clubhouse and create my presence on Clubhouse. And so, that's kind of how everything's been going thus far. But, I'm also a music mentor for a company called Songtown USA with a songwriter out of Nashville named Marty Dodson. So I'm glad to be a part of that team. That was because of Clubhouse that, I was able to do that. Another thing because of Clubhouse was I'm also a sound royalty referral rep. It's a company that help artists out who needs any financial backing where they're able to leverage their streams, song royalties to be able to get, financing for their professional or personal, needs that they ever need for that. So those two type of things was all opportunities that I was able to create through Clubhouse as well. So that's, it's just a great platform that I've been on.
Wow, women helping other women learn, grow, and empower. Learn new things, grow from what you learn. Empower others to do the same. Helping you to create a plan for your life. Clubhouse, let me tell you, I will not, even if I'm working, I'm in your room and I'm listening. And let me tell you why. And then you could tell me what brought this on, okay? The reason is because I've been in Clubhouse and I've been in other rooms, and I like the genuine people in your room. You, Auntie Jackie, Bots, I could just go on and on. It's fun. We get genuine connections. You mentioned a lot of connections that you got off of Clubhouse. Well, just out of your room. So I want to say kudos to you. I have got a ton of connections. And genuine, right? Some people you would think like, is this real? And they really reach out to you and they really talk to you. So kudos to that room. What brought that on?
Man, well, first of all, thank you so much, Barbara. You come in and you bring so much good energy and excitement as well, and we're here to support what you're doing as well. So thank you for, continuing to come. It was actually, I got on the app in November of last year. So we were just kind of on the app, just trying to figure it out, you know what I mean? And it started out with just a couple of us. And we would just show up every day, like no set time. If we saw each other in the room, we would just pull up. And then we decided to make a club because we had a lot of people who just come to our room. And then it grew and grew and grew, but I wasn't as consistent as I am now. So Auntie Jackie was like, hey, Rothstein, man, we've been meeting so many people on the app and people following me. And, I'm just trying to figure like, man, I'm like, okay, a lot of people are like coming to this room. So let's actually make a club. So at that time, it was like a long wait to get a club. You know what I mean? Like I waited a couple months to finally get my club going. And then we say, hey, we're going to make it consistent. We're going to pull up, and have a lot of people show up. And then next thing you know, this person comes and then this person comes. And then you build a family. So
crazy.
It's been running every day for a month now straight. So we've been like, keeping showing up and meeting so many amazing people, legends in the game. All type of people to that room. So I'm so glad you were able to, utilize what, the platform that we're creating over there.
Absolutely. And otherwise, I'm telling you, otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to interview Percy Beatty, right? I wouldn't have been able to connect with him. And so, yeah, thank you so much. And it's just because it seems like to me it continues to grow. And people are really thankful for that. So don't you go nowhere. Don't you go nowhere.
I'm
we,
definitely not. I'm
we
definitely
love
not.
it. Welcome to Black Link Magazine. We are the right magazine for the right purpose. We aim to elevate your business to the next level through advertisements, features in the magazine, and interviews on our YouTube channel. Visit us at www.blacklinkmag.com. So let's get into the music. Let's talk about the music. You're a producer. You are a mentor, or you talked about, is that right? A mentor, a music mentor. Tell me about that and how that works.
Well, I've been fortunate to work with some people in the industry for a couple years. I've known a couple people, just kind of building relationships, like you said, the genuine relationships. So I was able to have a room where I kind of like I give independent artists time to play their music. I've had song competitions on Clubhouse where we gave out cash prizes. I gave out some free beats, you know what I mean, just to help some independent artists, get their game. We told them about business. We helped set up LLCs. So all those things, people, I just genuinely did because I know the struggle of trying to make it and, not knowing where to start, not knowing business, I had to learn the hard way, just like a couple, people have in this industry, unfortunately. But you just can't look at it as a negative. Just pull the positive out that situation. So they came to my room, which is Marty Dobson. He wrote 9 #1 country hits. I mean, he's he's big time in the industry, and he came to my room and he consistently came back and he was like, "Hey, Rothstein, you're a positive guy. He vetted me, checked me out. He was like, so I think I get a lot of inquiries about hip hop and R&B and pop. And, I write country." He's like, "So, we would need somebody to kind of fill that gap for us." And he said, "We think you'd be a great addition." And so, so they, I'm on their website. So I'm trying to be an open vessel for the up and coming artists and who need help. And I mean, I don't have all the answers, but I do have experience, and and I look to pull the good out of each song. You know what I mean? Because it just may need a little tweaking. Right. I appreciate that. It's whenever you feel you have the struggle, but you reach back. I always live by if I'm to move to the next level, I'm reaching back to see who else I can help and bring them up genuinely, because it is a struggle. And if I have to struggle, can I save somebody from that struggle? Right. And we all know it's a struggle getting into the music business, and so many people want into that business. What do you tell people that want in the business? First of all, it's not all the glitz and glamour, it's work and it's business. So what do you tell the young, because it's a lot of young ones wanting to get in the rap game? Let's talk about that. What advice do you give them? I let them know that you may see somebody at their good point, but you do not know how much time they put in, how many songs that they worked on. Like, you have to know it's different levels and different tiers. I actually had a meeting yesterday with a young artist who's, "Hey man, I'm all in. I'm ready to give this my all." You know what I mean? And so then I always ask them the question, "So who do you sound like?" And of course, the number one, nobody. I'm like, okay. So now I got to school you to let you know that it's categories. Right. We're not saying that, we want you to sound exactly like somebody, but we know that every artist has been influenced by somebody along the way. Because, you just always say, "Hey, I'm gonna rap." Sometimes, you got to build your confidence up, or maybe you find yourself rapping somebody else's song, or rapping on the beat somebody else done. So, I kind of just schooled them, let them know, like, you got to understand who you want to be categorized with, what type of artist you want to be known, because that's how it is. You have to kind of not put yourself in a box, but you got to see who are your influences, because we're going to hear it in the music. You know what I mean? You're going to hear, if and he said Rod Wave, and then I listened to one of his songs, and then and guess what? He sounded like Rod Wave. So really? I'm like, people are going to be able to pull that out of your music. So, so that with that, I just try to let them know that try to, there's nothing wrong from pulling from your artist, but still find out we want to know who you are.
Right.
We want to get to know, because all the great artists are able to tell you about their life. You feel like you know them. You like, their sister name is this, you know what I mean? Like, or their mom went through this. So, sometimes like the best artists put their personal touch into it with a great delivery, with some great beats behind it. So, just learn. Don't try to be an overnight success, because once you do, it's tough to have that follow-up.
Yeah.
It's tough to have that follow-up if you don't put the time in, if you don't have the records behind you.
Right. I see a lot of young talent that want to be in the game, but yet are not, I don't feel like have that mindset, like are not willing to put the sweat and tears in it, right? Like, I want to be big, and I know these kids are different these days, and they're adamant about stuff. I'm like, look, you still have to put the work in, right?
Yeah.
So how do you get through to those type? Even maybe in your room, someone came in there and was like, I'm like, didn't even want to tell us what they was doing. I'm gonna do this. I got this, but didn't want to take the advice. Would you say that's somebody that's not going to make it in the business? Or would you say they just need somebody to grab a hold of them and if they'll let them and show them the way? Does that make sense?
Man, no, it definitely makes sense, because you were in there and you see the attitude of, like, you haven't even put any time in. I'm like, how long you been? 4 months. I'm like, but I'm the number one artist. I'm the best artist. I can sing. I can do this. So, some of those you can save and some you're not going to be able to. They're going to have to grow through it. And for those that do listen, you can tell. You can tell the ones that be like, okay, hey, I don't know everything, so let me learn. Bring me along. But then some of them like, nah, I got this. Everybody in my neighborhood say I'm the best. Da 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 da. I got fans from all over. You know what I mean? So like, they got to know it's much more than that. You know what I mean? It's being able to talk in an interview. It's being able to, it's a lot to it. It's a business. So you have to understand that you represent yourself a certain way, and you know what I mean? And you got to make sure that you know what you're signing. You got to know what you're signing.
You would see a lot of fighting and arguing and bickering but in your room, I'm going to keep referring to your room because it's from some professionals in there. But in your room, it's like, if you're like that, nobody wants anybody on their team that's always causing drama, that won't listen, that wants to overtalk people, that don't want to take the advice from the professionals.
As you see in our room, we definitely try to keep people under wrap. We respectfully let people say, hey man, you coming in hot, or you speaking kind of a little crazy. So we'll move them down to the audience just to give them a moment. We'll let them come back up and try it again, because we have people who have been in the industry for 50 plus years, 30 plus years. These people are giving their time, giving their wisdom, because they know how it is, how the come up was for them. And that's what I love about the people in my room. And that's why we kind of stick together, because we know that if we can just help one person get to that next level, man, we're going to be happy for them. And I've seen people grow off of the app. Like, hey man, I get DMs all the time. Like, man, I'm going to actually be in a movie credit because of my room. You know what I mean? And the guy was like, hey man, I just want to come here and thank you I found the people I needed to help complete what I needed to do. So with those type of actions, I hope that people see what we're trying to do for people is much bigger than trying to sell you something, is much bigger than trying to, make our name or have an ego. That's why a lot of people probably haven't been to my room, because we say no ego. And the people say, I love that title because I don't have that. So, and I know some people probably would never come to the room because of their ego. But I don't want those
without them.
That's what I'm saying. I love the people who come in there from all over the world, not just in the United States, all over the world, that have no ego, and they live by that. So so
that's really what caught my attention, is the no ego, because like, I'm genuine. I try to stay humble, and I can't be around people that are like that. I mean, I know who am I, but that's what I choose not to do. So anyway, I appreciate that. So let's move on. Let's talk about your producer hat. Explain to people, and the reason I keep having you explain these different parts is because a lot of my audience, I have an 18-year-old son. Well, he's getting ready to be 18 and he's pursuing his dreams, but a lot of them listen here. And so I get tips from you guys to give to them. So what do you do as far as a producer, and what all does it entail, and how do you help the artist?
Well, one thing that technology has done has been you're able to connect with people faster than you ever were back in the day. Back in the day, you kind of had to meet people, or this person connect you with this person. So I think as a producer, I love to sit in with the artist because I like to feel the vibrations. I like to feel your energy. Because I can kind of tell, what kind of person you are. Some artists are quiet and shy. So, the music will bring them out, what I mean? Like, they may not say much. So as a producer, I try to get them to talk. I try to get to know what they are, what kind of music they like, like what kind of tempo. So as a producer, I try to provide the landscape for the artist to be able to get their words, get their melodies, their delivery, and make it match up with the beat. And then that's why a lot of times, how to dance, how to move to the track, because the beat, and then the artist provides that last instrument, which is their voice. Yeah. So that's why it's good to know about keys and scales and making sure progressions, how we're going to make the song go up, how we're going to make your ear, I call turn your ear, where, you're like, oh man, where did this sound come from? Mm-hmm. A lot of the best songs surprise you, mm-hmm. and, take you on the journey. So if I'm with that artist and we're able to get a musical journey together, make a bunch of records, and that's where I think a lot of times you get that good chemistry between the producer and the artist. So I love to have an album where it's just one artist and one producer, but we know a lot of times with this industry you need a lot of different vibrations now. But I still love that producer and our artist one-on-one connection.
So tell me about your beats. How do you come up with your beats, and how do you make the beats?
Man.
So, let me add this to it, because music for me can take me a lot of different places depending on what it is. Music can be my life. Music can be what I'm feeling right now. Music is a lot. Music is a go-to. It's an outlet. So how is it that you put a beat and it's hot like that?
Man, I go with how I'm feeling as my vibe for the day. Like, some days I wake up, I'm excited. I can turn my laptop on, and I use a beat machine called The Machine. Mm-hmm. And so a lot of times I start with a melody, what I mean, or I might get a nice vibe if I can get my head vibing, by playing some keys, or some drums. The drums is the heartbeat. So that's what keeps the track moving. Yeah. So as long as I got a nice drum, and then I can just add my melodies on top of that, and then get with the artist, and then guide them on how to. A lot of my favorite producers like Pharrell and Kanye, like when you hear the music, man, it just gets you grooving. It takes you somewhere, like that Happy record, like the kids explode when that record comes on. Yeah. So you know what I mean? It's just, you want to provide that type of vibration when, as a producer. So that's what I try to do every time I, like to create.
Yeah. Here, we all hear a lot about the music industry, entertainment business, right? And how grimy and messy that it can be and how it can get. And we talk about business and we talk about bad contracts. Tell me about any experiences you had or seen where it's just been like, that ain't right.
Man, one thing I like to discuss is split sheets. You know what I mean? And so songwriters are so important. So you got to think, when you look at the credits in the albums, they used to have it back in the day, they used to list who wrote on the record. Now, there has been people that have came to my room who had wrote songs and did not get credited. So the reason that happened, they did not present a split sheet when they were in the studio. So the split sheet is where everybody agree how much what percent of a song is the person going to have. So if it's me, you in the studio, and two other people, and we're all writing a song, before we even sit down and write that song, we need to have said, we're going to do 25% each, or 10% each, or 5% each. Right. So we get an understanding, what if this song blows up, you know what percent of the song you're going to get. So a lot of people just go in and create because you don't know. It's a gamble. You don't know if it's going to be a hit.
Right.
Some records, they like, you know, it's a hit, but some records we don't know until the people, you know, determine that it's a hit. So a lot of times people handle the business later. Mm-hmm. So that's why I say now, if you're a business professional and you're a songwriter, you're a producer, before you guys create and we don't have a great relationship or working relationship already, then we need to have that split sheet there. Let's get the awkward part out the way. Let's get the business out the way.
Yeah.
And then let's get to creating. So that's why I'm a number one advocate for, if you're a songwriter, even if the engineer gives you one word to say, he needs to be included in that split sheet. Wow. And you need to say, hey, you know what I mean? Because he helped present with the song. So that's what I'm an advocate for, is making sure that, because I've been in a session where I gave something, but I didn't have no publishing or anything and no idea about that. So I gave an idea and they used it on the record. And guess what? I didn't get no money from that. So, you know what I mean? Yeah. So that's why, get the business part first out the way. I keep a split sheet paper, and then it's also, you can do it online. It's if you just Google university split sheets, have it with you before your session starts. Make sure everybody signs it. Make sure you get a copy you know, of the ID, so they know that this is real deal Holyfield, and this is what we're doing to make sure that we're protecting ourselves, because this is your intellectual property. This is 70 years after you pass away. Right. This is your kids, you know, if you have children or whoever, your family. So protect it with all you got. And it's just being professional and just, you know, hey, having the paperwork.
Yeah. I tell a lot of them that, you know, it's not all glitz and glamours. You have to know the business side of it. And Auntie Jackie said a lot in the room that it's more business than show. You know, you have to take care of the business. And so I appreciate that. So let's move on to COVID and coronavirus and the music. So it kind of shut down the industry. It did, you know, for a minute. So how did you cope, and how did you get through the COVID where we were all shut down across the world in a pandemic that we knew that we never would ever think we would experience?
Man, COVID really changed, of course, everyone's life. Everyone has been affected. I don't care who you are. In some form or fashion, if you have been affected. So for me, I decided to work harder than I ever have, because I was locked in the house. It was, you know, and I like to be out. I like to be social. I like to go, you know, to different studios. I was working in the studio during that time, and then people stopped coming, and then it was like, man, so what we're gonna do? Mm-hmm. So, you know, fortunately we had people that really was able to kind of tap in and like, hey, I'll help y'all stay open, different things. People, you know, paid more money up front and everything like that. So we just kept working. But I had already aspirations of creating my own label, so I still pushed through doing that. So April of 2020, I decided to, you know, open my label and get some artists. And thank you. So I had artists that I was already working with, and they didn't want to like produce or work with nobody else. So they're like, hey, we want to be down with you. You know, so I got 3 artists that I work with currently. One is my sister, you know, who I've been grooming since she was young. So she, you know, now she's ready to come out. And then 2 other people. One guy I went to college with, Brandon Brain. I want to make sure I shout them out. Brandon Brain, he's an amazing R&B singer. R&B is coming back this year. So get prepared for some great R&B. Yes. And then I have my other artist, who is Megan B Music. She is actually an amazing vocalist who's bringing some kind of like an alternative R&B, but amazing vocalist. And then my sister Naomi. So I just want to make sure I shout them out and let them know it's going to be a big year this year for us. Hello.
I wish y'all all the best, and working with you, they're going to be all right. They're going to be all right. Yeah. Hello. Mm-hmm. So I want to thank you so much for being here and sharing your gems with the world. there'll be so many people that will see this and that are sitting back saying, now they're saying, wow, I didn't know that. So appreciate you guys. And what I wanted to leave with you is that the reason that you were able to open your label and the reason that your room is so successful is because I feel that you are so genuine. Like, I'm seeing you face to face now through the video, but I feel it. I feel that you're genuine and that you want to help people, and everybody in there is willing to help people where they can. And when you put that out in the atmosphere, you get that back tenfold. So keep doing what you're doing. And with that, what would you leave? What do you want to leave with the audience?
Wow. Well, I appreciate first and foremost, my Rod. That was, man, it's no capping. This is who I am. You know what I mean? And this is what I tell people: be who you are. Yes. Celebrate who you are. You're uniquely made. So once you realize that there's nobody like you, you don't live for nobody else's standard but your own. And just make sure that whatever you do, go hard, grind, keep grinding. Like, it don't matter how long it takes, you got to keep living anyway. So you might as well keep grinding in the process. You might as well keep working on your craft, be the best person you could be, help somebody. Because I'm telling you, Auntie Jackie told me, whenever you feeling low, find somebody to help, and you'll take that you'll take it off of yourself and put it on somebody else, your focus. You know what I mean? So just keep grinding, hold your head up. We about to open back up. We're gonna get through, everything that's going on. We're gonna get through. We persevere, man. That's what life's about, is like pushing forward and perseverance. So that I just want to leave everybody with that. Keep grinding, keep your head up. Hello.
So go ahead and tell everybody where they can find you on all social media sites if they want to connect with you.
Well, you can find me on Instagram. I am, like the letter I, letter A-M, Rothstein, Rothstein, Beatz with a Z. Rothstein Beatz all over. That's all you got to do is look for me, Rothstein Beatz, on all platforms. Clubhouse, you can search our club. It's called Music Networking No Egos. All you got to do is type that in the search bar on Clubhouse. Come pull up. We open 8 a.m. to noon Eastern Standard Time every day, you know what I mean? But Monday through Friday, we mostly do our networking. And then Saturday, Sunday, we do education and Bitcoin. So just, tap in if any of that interests you.
Yeah, y'all better listen and tune in if you're trying to do anything. And I'm talking about anything in business. If you want to be a publicist, if you want to do music, you want to be a producer, you want to write me, whatever it is, come to that clubhouse, and I promise you'll walk away with something. You guys, thank you so much. We have been with Mr. Rothstein Beatz tonight. We're so humbled and so thankful for you. You guys have a good night. Remember to respect yourself and respect others. God bless.
God bless.
Thank you.
Thank you.